So you know the scariest movie I ever saw was Sybil. Because she's carrying all of these personalities around in her. And I'm carrying all these old dead blues guys around. Heaven help me if they start taking over, you know what I'm saying? Especially Robert Johnson. But it's really a privilege to kind of go into schools and go into places and talk about this music, because the music has not only roots, but it has branches. So one of the coolest things that I ever experienced was playing with my brother by another mother, Matt Latrobe. And Matt and I formed something called Common Chords when we discovered, when we were asked to play a gig together back 34 years ago or something like that, that we had never played together, and it's like, how are we gonna pull this off? Well, it turns out that both of us had this love of country music. And so we ended up playing country tunes all night. Started off with Hank Williams, Mind Your Own Business. And for the last 34 years, we've been trying to tell people that we have more in common than we do to fight about. And that American culture is built on celebrating diversity instead of just tolerating diversity. So when we come to this idea of trying to explain this to a fifth grader, who is already looking at your gray hair, or your thinning hair, or your no hair, and sizing you up, like, what do you got to tell me that could draw me away from my cell phone? We have to sort of put it into a form that they can understand and appreciate. And we figured out that most of American music, most of American popular music, is built on a simple chassis, 3 chords. 5 notes. Now, it might not sound that impressive at first, but think about this. Just like the Motor City, you can put a Crown Vic or a Grand Marquis or a Town Car all on the same chassis, and basically they ride the same, just have different appointments, right? So imagine Son House, this guy from Mississippi Delta, and he's doing this tune. I got a letter this morning, how do you, Reverend? Said hurry, hurry, cause the girl love's dead, got a letter this morning. Oh Lord, I think it rain. Said that song is just the 1, the 4, the 5, and the major pentatonic scale. But it does not stay in Coleman County, Mississippi. That music travels. It moves up the Mississippi and up Highway 61, and before you know it, it's in Memphis, and Chicago, and Detroit. And all of a sudden, piano players get a hold of those 5 notes. And it turns into boogie woogie. Way down my jumper, won't try my overalls. Won't take down my jumper, won't try my overalls. Well, I'm about to catch a train. Woman called a cannonball. Oh, that's hot stuff in the 20s. So hot, as a matter of fact, white musicians fall in love with the blues. One in particular, a guy by the name of Jimmy Rogers, slows that blues down. Slows down those 3 chords, slows down those 5 notes, and then he adds something that forever changes the complexion of American music. I got to Texas, play for Tennessee. Girl, play for Texas, play for Tennessee. Got to play for Velma, the girl who made a wreck out of me. Now you learn to is that the blues and country are always going to be cousins. The other thing you learn is that some black people can yodel. But think about it. If it comes out of Chicago and Muddy Waters is playing it, it sounds like this. Well, I wish I was a catfish swimming in a whole deep blue sea. I'd have all you good-looking women fishing at me, showing at me. But if it's a guy from Nashville recorded, it comes out a little different. Well, I wish I was a catfish swimming in the deep blue sea. I'll have all you good-looking women trying to set a hook for me. Hello, you call me Johnny. But it does not end there. Think about all the evolution of American music throughout American history. As we move into the 30s, we have the Great Depression, and all of those boogie-woogie piano players started looking for work in black churches. And all of a sudden, black church music started sounding suspiciously like boogie-woogie. Much of the chagrin of the past, the songs of my life. Glory, glory, hallelujah, since I laid my burden down. Glory, glory, hallelujah, since I laid my burden down. It's the light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. It's the light of mine, Lord, I'm gonna let it shine. It's the light of mine, Lord, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Sing it with me. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Same 3 chords, same 5 notes. But it does not end there. Imagine it's about 1935. You get a young man by the name of Bill Monroe coming out of Kentucky, inventing a new style of country called bluegrass. Quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most un-Negro kind of music you can imagine. 5 white guys standing around wearing white coats and white hats and periodically hollering, "Yeehaw!" into a mic that looks like this. Not my idea of world music. But there's blues in bluegrass, in part because, well, Mr. Monroe had a teacher by the name of Arnold Schultz, who was a blues guitarist and fiddler and a friend of his Uncle Pen. And in part because of the guitar player in the band, you had a guy by the name of Lester Flatt. Now, Lester Flatt is the guy on the Beverly Hillbillies, young people, who is standing in front of the double doors playing the guitar and saying, "Y'all come back now, here." And that little lick is the G run. You can't have bluegrass without it. But that little lick is just the boogie woogie, played with a flat pick. I'm gonna have the road feeling bad, Lord, I'm gonna have the road feeling bad. I'm gonna have the road feeling bad, Lord, Lord, I'm going to face a day. Yeah. Same 3 chords, same 5 notes. But it does not end there. Imagine it's about 1948. You got a young man by the name of Ray Charles. Not to be confused with Jamie Foxx. And Ray Charles has been singing gospel his whole life, but decides he wants to make some money. So instead of singing Jesus, he sings Baby. And it works out great. Until one night he runs out of songs that the band have rehearsed, and they got to finish out the set. He said, "That's all right, baby. Just sing back to me what I sing to you." So you guys are in the band. Sing back to me what I sing to you. Are you ready? Yeah. I say, are you ready? Yeah. Say, hey, hey, oh, oh, hey, hey. say. Tell me what I 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 say. Let's do it again. Say Tell me what I say. 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 I say those are the same 3 chords and the same 5 notes, but now we call it R&B, but it does not end there. Imagine it's about 1955, and you got a television in the middle of your living room, a big gigantic wooden box with a little tiny screen. It only gets 3 stations. 4 if you live in Detroit, because we get CBC. But CBS, NBC, and ABC, there is no ESPN 14. There is no Crying Woman's Channel. None of that stuff exists yet. And the only way you get a picture is if your brother is hanging on to the antenna. It's a beautiful time. And that means everybody's sort of watching the same thing at the same time. Now, Mason is a great sound man. I hope he's going to be able to pull this off. So, the most popular show on CBS on Sunday evening is the Ed Sullivan Show. And Ed Sullivan comes out and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a great show for you tonight. You're going to enjoy this young man. He comes to us from Tupelo, Mississippi, by way of Memphis, Tennessee. He uses 3 chords and 5 notes, ladies and gentlemen." And when Ed sticks his arm out, the kid goes, "Whoa, whoa, mother, whoa, show, you ready now, okay, Now, I can go to any elementary school in America, practically, and ask who that is. And all the kids know. 2nd grade, they know. That's Elvis. Who is he? He's the king. They go, what, rock and roll? Well, why are you so angry, young person? Because he's the king. It's cool. You know about the black kings, right? There are black kings? Lots of them. The one I'm thinking about is a guy by the name of Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry sort of borrowed a lick from Bill Monroe. I am a man who constant sorrow, trouble for my head all of my day. But he didn't use it like that. He used it like this. Same 5 notes, but it doesn't end there. You imagine the impact that artists like Elvis Presley or Chuck Berry had on American society in the late 50s, where literally folks would march against this thing called miscegenation, fearing the mixing of the races. But there were black kids who wanted to be Elvis, and there were white kids who wanted to be Chuck Berry. And then there were some kids who wanted to be Little Rocky and Little Richard, but that's a different story. But nonetheless, that music was breaking down barriers, right? And so by the time 5 good-looking black kids from Detroit started to tour in the deep and segregated South, in Mississippi, in a gymnasium, with a rope down the middle to keep the white kids on one side and the black kids on the other side. When they heard those 5 notes out of Detroit, the kids got so excited that they themselves tore the rope down. And they danced together, much to the horror of the parents, because that group was The Temptations. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I got Mother May. Nobody singing. Well, I guess you say what can make me feel this way, my girl, talking about my girl, ooh. It doesn't end there. Imagine when you go into that school filled with 5th graders who are trying to see just how old you are. You take them back to that first song, The Death Letter Blues by Son House. It was recorded in 1928. And you say, what would happen if Death Letter Blues was recorded not in 1928, but 2025? We would make some changes. We'd do a little bit of a remix, right? Son would probably not be doing each verse twice. He'd be doing each verse once. He'd speed up the tempo of the song. But fade the music out. Eventually it would become percussive, and it would sound like this. I got a letter this morning, honey. Think it read, it said, hurry, hurry, cause the gal who love is dead. I packed up my suitcase, took off down the road. When I got there, she was laying out on the cooking board. I eat up closer now, down in no place, so say, hey, you know we love you, but I just can't take no place. You see that the doctor was staying, probably feeling crying. You know how much of love that really my baby in the crime. For on the day, I walk away and say, hey, you know we love you, have to see your judgment day. And then this morning, it was about to break a day. And I'm on the pillow where my baby used to lay. I went to church about death. I tried to pray, but some things come along and they blow my spirit away. Woke up this morning about the break of day, and I was sitting on the pillow where my baby used to lay and said, I thought I heard a cool menage. She called so loud, but she called so plain. Yeah, boy. Thank you so much.